Alright guys, what's up? Sorry about being late. Had some technical issues. I feel like it's like wow, what like just random shit. Excuse my French. I just shall not cuss on this stream. No video as you can see, but we have sound. So there was a lot of stuff on my video, just the stuff that I used to stream from, and things were just way off. Things were missing. The mic just so you can see that there's no camera. Matter of fact, let me dumb it down so you can actually see the screen. So I'm working on a couple things here. What I'm going to say is I have a couple of videos I want to put out for you guys that really help you guys get things going for yourselves. At least to have something that you can watch, go back to, and kind of, refresh your memory per se. So again, I do apologize for the being late. I did not intend on this happen. I was getting everything together, and I just noticed everything was messed up, and I'm like, what's going on? So I do apologize for that. Let's get into it. Guys, a huge week. If you're new here, if you could, like, share, and subscribe if you find this information valuable. We're trying to grow this community. We're having a community of traders. We trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 p.m., if not later, especially earnings season or something's going on. I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League Trading live stream. Sunday night, weekly watch list. We had some technical difficulties, but we got through them. Listen, this is life. You got to jump through the hurdles. You just got to take on, the issues as they are and just do what you can to fix them and move on and keep it going. The car needed an oil change. The car needed a change tire, whatever it is. You just got to change the tire and keep on driving. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. I am so excited about this week. We got a ton of earnings. We got some more data that's going to be really that the market's going to want to see. We're going to get the non-farm payrolls. What's up, Collins, my guy? I hope you're doing great tonight. I hope you had a great weekend. What a week we had last week. I posted some winning trades for us already. I'm already out of those puts that I was in Friday. I'm going to tell you why I took them. I'm going to tell you why I sold them. All right? That would be cool. I would love that. I'm going to talk about AMD. I love AMD. So, real quick, if you could, like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We go through a lot of stuff. I have some videos that I'm going to be putting out on, things to work on your entries, work on your exits, really hone in on what some of the things you guys may not even know that you're not seeing. Okay, when I see a chart, even when I watch it back on the live stream, I'm like, man, I didn't see that when I'm doing the stream. So, like here, yeah, we have a head and shoulders here, a reverse head and shoulders. It looks like here, diagonal neckline. Maybe we come up, bang, bang, bang. But anyway, it would be greatly appreciated. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time away from the family. It takes a lot of time to do my own research, my own due diligence, all that good stuff. So it is greatly appreciated if you could just like and subscribe and comment, good or bad. I am working on things here to get, it more visually stimulating. It takes a little time though. So let's get into it. What do we have? Again, we have earnings, we have data, we have a lot. We have China with their stimulus. There's just a lot, guys. So I want to get into it. What do I want to get into tonight? Let's go start with futures. We're going to start with the S&P, the Dow, the Qs. Let's see where they're at. Let's see where we finished off the week at on a weekly chart. Okay, we're going to go through the 5 major indexes, because if we go through the 5 major indexes, we're going to cover the entire market. And what that does, it paints us a picture. Okay, what should be trending, as far as commodities, energy, tech, healthcare, all that fun stuff. So if you guys have any tickers, any questions, please throw it in the chat. Camera, all that stuff should be good tomorrow. Again, we had some technical difficulties, so thank you for bearing with me. And also, we are look at the earnings that we have, guys. Look at this. I mean, tomorrow we have SoFi. I can't wait for that. On semiconductors. Rig, Ocean. We have called Rig out for 2 weeks now. It has been on a tear with the rest of energy and oil that we've called out. So again, if you're new, this is information you could have gotten 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we were on transports before nobody talked about them. We were on energy before anybody talked about them. So hopefully I can continue to be right going forward. Okay, when they say this is a stock picker's market, what I have been able to do when I've started this channel is exactly that. We were on Baba before people talked about it, Bitcoin before people said something about BlackRock and what's his name. You know, that was just the chart setup was there, and all it took was news to get brought out from money that's already been positioned on the lows for it to run up and do what it did. That is why the charts are so important. Okay, the charts have already told us about Spotify, not Shopify, but Spotify. I said this is a bearish setup. This is a bearish setup. We're going to look at block. We're going to get into all of them. We're going to get our levels. We're going to get it if this, then that. All right, AMD, to me, when I just was looking at it, what does this chart remind you of? But look at all these earnings, though. Look at them. We're going to go through them. We're going through them, guys. Let's look at AMD real quick. But again, I'm going to go through the indexes first. I want to get through this as quick as I can, so because I guess people don't, you know, some people may not like an hour-long stuff, whatever, but sometimes it takes as long as it takes. Get it right now. Get out your pen, your paper, write these levels down, and get ready. And listen, when I go through the indexes, we got to remember what days are the earnings. You have Apple and Amazon on Thursday. You also have employment numbers, I'm pretty sure, on Thursday. Non-farm payroll is either Thursday or Friday. I want to say Thursday. And then you have ISM manufacturing, I think, and PMI. I think that's Tuesday or Wednesday. So with those days coming out on those earnings, that's when you want to see, okay, that we get 2 days of just consolidation. And then the moving averages move up, depending on what we do, what the market does. And that puts us where? This is how you guys can start eyeing up future movement. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. I have a couple things that, you know, there was a chart that I'm going to go through with like Baba and stuff that, you know, I want to see, hey, do we put in a lower high, or are we going to put in a higher low or a lower low? So let's get into it. So look at AMD, right? This is a weekly chart. We can go to a daily chart real quick. I'm just going to knock this out. I'm not going to go through the levels yet because this is a stock that I'm going to get into that I played Friday. I play it all the time. So you see the double top, and we're kind of just sitting up here, right? Okay, you have this previous pivot to the left. We run it up, and we're kind of just, you know, you put in a double top, and now we're just sitting here. So let me bring up another stock that is comparable to this. It may not look exactly alike, okay? Now look at that. Does that kind of remind you of something that we just looked at? Huh? Is that kind of look like something we looked at? Previous pivot high, ran up, somewhat of a double top. And look, this right here, this is what AMD's doing. Yes, this pivot top is a little bit further down. Same setup though, guys. Do we make another lower low? All right, you have the previous pivot top, you run up, you pull it back, and what? You're sitting below the base of these 2 days right here, okay? If you guys are not seeing it, whether you're new or not, I'm going to show you. Okay, so if I put this box in, right there, I put that box in right there, you have your previous pivot. We can just eliminate that previous pivot high right there, okay? So we have that, and then we have that, okay? So if I go to AMD, right, and this is a daily chart, what do you have? You have a previous, come on, sorry guys for going in the mic. See the box? And then you're sitting below it, right? Kind of same, right? In a sense, you put in a double top and you're just sitting here. Does that mean we go, you know, we'll just see, because we've been seeing these earnings really come out and the chart has told us, you know, you might want to be bearish or you might want to be bullish. All right, Spotify. So spot real quick, guys. This is just what we're analyzing, what the chart's telling us. All right, you have this right here. Let me go to a weekly chart, and I'm going to really show you what's going on here. This is what told me, hey, this thing might have ran up a little too far too quick. That's your 200 weekly moving average. Look at that tail, and you had a tail, obviously, here, early sellers, knowing ahead of time that they don't know, but they, you know, they have information. They do research, you know. You're talking, so, again, come up, double top somewhat, pull it down. Now we're just hanging below it. This is bearish setups to an extent. Maybe we do continue. Maybe we get some more downside on Spotify. It's hanging on the 100-day moving average. Do we start to, you know, does it start to just not get up and then they bring it down? start to see that 200-day rise, and maybe it bounces off of it. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's get into the data. I'm going to go into futures. I'm going to go into my Trade Friday. We can go into AMD if we want, but I want to cover earnings. I want to get charts. I want to get us set up for the week. Again, I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's been nonstop in the markets. It's been nonstop, guys. It's so hard to find a week or a summertime like this. Usually the summer is dull. So again, I thank you guys for bearing with me. I had some technical difficulties. Again, we're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. If you could, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Like, share, and subscribe for us. It is greatly appreciated. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. If you have I'm talking questions, whether it's a stock, whether it's trading issues. Like, I have been doing this for over 7 years. All right, I'm not claiming to be an expert here, but there are little things that I'm really honestly certain that I could help you tweak and fix, and maybe put you on the right path to success, because nobody's going to do it but you. The first thing you need to be worried about is how much are you going to lose. That is the number one thing. We don't worry about how much we're going to make. Well, number one, we know the home runs are going to come. If we trade the stock and then we trade the charts, we trade correctly. Okay, we trade correctly, those home runs will come, and we will let them come, because we will not have any emotion in the trades. We will manage our risk as we get profit. We will take some profit off, and we will get to a point where, hey, position is paid, we have profit. Okay, whether that's a first take, a second take, whatever, however you want to do it. Maybe you don't sell. Maybe you don't manage your risk, and it reverses, and you're in options, and it doesn't even get to your entry, and you're already red. All right, so if you don't have the capital to trade the stock outright or short the stock outright, and you play options, let me help you. Help me help you. That is the whole point of this now, guys. This is the whole point of this live stream. All right, so if you guys want to, throw them in the chat. Any questions about a stock, anything that you're having trouble with, and I guarantee you there's someone out there who has the same question. So it's not just going to help you. You are going to help someone else, I assure you. All right. Again, we trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, right here on YouTube, ivyleetrading.com. We had some technical difficulties this morning. Let's get into futures. We are, or at least were, trying to get back up to this pivot high. But here's my curiosity. All right, I was wondering, this is what I'm wondering, guys. Do we put in a lower high? Okay, do we put in a lower high? And is this the start of a lower low? This is what you guys got to be wondering, okay? We're coming into Amazon, we're coming into Apple, we're coming into the whole mid-cap tech, or mid-cap to large-cap technology stocks that have helped this market run up. Now, I'm not bearish, but I'm more bullish than I am bearish, and I have a chart that I want to show you guys, and I did not send it to my email, so maybe I can do it quick, or I can send you on the path to get it, because it is something that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give credit to the person that I've seen it from. It's important. It is a data on every rate cycle along with GDP. What did we have? We just had another 2 point something, a higher than expected GDP. Okay, it's the 2 years before, the 2 years after with interest rate cycles. So 2 years before interest rate cycles, during the rate hike cycles, and then 2 years after the rate hike cycles. Okay, along with GDP. Where was GDP? And it goes far back, and it goes all the way up till the present, and it shows you, it paints you the picture of coming out and going in, and then how you go into interest rate hikes, and you're still coming out of, as you're going into interest rate hikes, you're coming out of lower interest rate hikes, so it kind of takes a little bit, and then it's just, I got to show you guys, and I'll explain it to you when you guys see it, and you're going to say, hey, yeah, that does make sense. All right, again, what are we doing? Is this the first of a lower low? I mean, technically, on a 15-minute chart, at least on futures, we did not close lower. You tailed, but you did not close or open lower. Really, it's the close. So right now, the lowest close in this range is right around here at 445.57, 455.7. but is this going to be a high or low? Even if it comes up to here, okay? And then do we kind of just wick and then put in another lower high and then we make a new low? I don't know. This is just what I'm looking. This is what you guys should be looking at. This is how you want to tell price action. Do we put in this lower high and then put in like another lower low back down here? And then try to, you know, are we putting in a range? What are we doing? This is what we got to ask ourselves. All right. I'm going to get more into that. I had tech problems, so that really kind of messed me up, but we're going to just go with it. So let's look at the SPY. All right. This is a 15-minute chart of the SPY. All right. Friday. We played SPY Fed Day. So this blue box, this is the base from Fed Day. This is just the range of Fed Day before the rate hike decision came out and the questioning. I usually do this. I've explained to members, you want to usually put the high and low in just your range. That way when you break out, you'll usually hit the box and you'll tail up, and that's your call. You know, you can make trading easy. Trading is not perfect. You don't have you can get as close to you can as making it perfect, but trading is not going to be perfect. There are things you do need to know. All right, there's so much more even just intraday trading that you probably haven't been told or taught. Okay, between standard deviations, between different scales of volatility on that day of ATR. All right, there's just a lot. All right, so this was the base. We broke out. I took some. Actually, I shorted this. I was actually short. I did not get the long. I was kind of watching the questioning and everything. And I got the short. As we started to roll it back over, I took the short. That was a nice trade. I also took the short Friday. We left the stream early, but again, I put it in the comments because as of right now, I do not have something set up where I can let you know physically that you know what it is that I'm doing or thinking. So, and I am hoping to get more traders on here. So we'll get into that as time goes on. Why did we go short here on Friday? Why did I go short? Okay, well, if you look at least on a 5-minute chart, because I was actually doing this on my phone while I was out and about. All right, started looking for some homes and things like that. On my phone, it looked a little different than this. Okay, let me put it on automatic to make sure that that's not. So look, automatic, kinda. So on my phone, it looked a little different. Now maybe I have no idea why. I can't tell you why. So what I did was I took the short here because this was support on Thursday. This was our support that was broken. And when I looked at it, I said, hey, we got up to where we were at support. Now it's the zone. It's an area. It's not an exact to a penny. That support turned into resistance. You could not close a candle above this area. I'm going to call it right here. This was the area, 457.65 area. Right there is where you could not get Friday's lunchtime to close above. We couldn't close above it. Two, we are two standard deviations away from VWAP. Okay, there's just a lot of stuff. So I was like, you know what? I see a lot of things here that tell me I got a slight reversal as a day trade. You know, I got this Friday's puts. They went from 60 cents when I called them out all the way up to 90 some cents. Big trade, huge trade. All right, it paid very handsomely. We also played some AMD. We had a couple other trades. We'll get into it. So we have the SPY here, guys. Let's go to the SPY. We're going to go to the value index, IWM. So the S&Ps are still in an uptrend, obviously. Looks like we're trying to put in a base here and kind of just waiting. We had huge, volatility on Thursday. Now, whether it's because of this or because of that, it doesn't matter. It's what happened. All right. I said Sunday. If you watch a Sunday night, I get into what's going on for the week. I said Japan rate hike. Okay. When that 10-year gets above 50 basis points, the government has a tendency to buy a ton of bonds. Okay. Why do they do that? Why do they buy a ton of bonds? If the Why am I messing on my words? The JDG or oh my gosh. Why would Japan buy a bunch of bonds on the 10-year at 50 basis points? Why would they do that? Well, they want to bring yields back down. That's what they've been in. They've been in a deflationary environment. That's what they've been doing. Now there's been a change to the people that are in charge, so we'll have to see. Because what this means is, what you got to remember about is like the macro themes work in a sense, but what it's just when major events happen is when you can make trades off of them. For the midterm, it's not really going to be much of a as a deterrent to go long or to go short or to pick direction. You want to focus more on right now the data that comes in and the earnings that we're going to get. So my point being is that we said Sunday night that we could get some volatility, that we're watching the Japan interest rate decision. Okay. So what happened was you had the 7-month bond. Now you had a lot of stuff. So the macro thesis, I'm sorry guys, I don't have a script. I had some tech issues. So what I want to get into is that, I'm not going to get into, I'm just going to say this to you guys. When you have federal bank policies, okay, central bank policies, okay, that dictate interest rates, that also dictate currencies, okay? Those are the three things. Central banks dictating, interest rates that then go in to dictate currencies. Now, when you have a big move, like if something means something, and I always tell you guys, look at currencies. If you think if a big move in the SPY or the Qs or the Dow or wherever, like the whole market goes down, look at currencies. You're obviously going to want to see the news, but you're going to see a move out of the currencies. Okay? I had this all pre-planned, so again, I had some tech issues this morning, and I'm off. I had this stuff that now I'm all mixed up, so I do apologize. So you had that happen Thursday. You also had you had a lot. You had a lot of information from the margin requirements for the banks that are supposed to be like taking place in 2025 that aren't going to be in effect until won't be finished until 2028. Does the president come in and change that? I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay. I think that, it should not be 100 billion. It should definitely be more. And a lot of the stuff, Basel III came from 2008, financial crisis, if you don't know. And they had to do some changes with that because the government sent everyone checks. And the banks, by law, were not allowed to take those checks. So they had to make some adjustments. Because if the bank is, by law, not allowed to accept these checks that are coming from the government, they got to change the laws around. So if some people got their stimulus checks late, it's probably because they had to let some money clear out of the bank. People get theirs, they take it out, so on and so forth. They did make changes, and they had to, because the banks were like, hey, I can't take this money you want to give them. We're not allowed to, So they had changes. Now Basel III is getting, they're going to start tightening up, and then that's going to cost more for your loans, small businesses. It's going to have its effects, and that's also going to have a part in the economy slowing down. But again, we need more time because we're still seeing GDP up at where it is above estimates because we're still coming out of a low interest rate cycle with a big stimulus and this and that. And you give it till next year and into possibly the following, we're going to say spring into summer, like we're going to say Q2 of next year, we should really maybe start to see things, even though we're seeing it now. It's just really slow. Let me not blabber on, okay? Chinese stimulus, if you guys want to look that up. Again, I do apologize because we had some tech issues before coming on the stream. That's why there's no, video. If you find this information valuable, please hit the like and subscribe button because we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're trying to build a community of traders here that are here to go over the news, to help, and it's free 99. And if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat, whether it's tickers, about trading, how to stay in trades longer, how to take trades, whatever it may be. What is it that you look for to take an entry, to take an exit? Level 2, the tape, time and sales, like anything at all, guys. You want to comment on the stream? Something I could do better? That would be great too. So let's get into it. So we already went through the SPY. Let's go to the Qs real quick. Qs have been lagging the past week. If you guys didn't notice, if you notice that, okay, you see where the SPY was on the 15-minute. You'll notice how the Qs are not leading no more. Okay, that there and before your eyes, if you're new, is rotation. Okay, look at the Qs. They're down here. They never tested that previous high. What did the SPY do? The SPY went right back up to it. Now I could look at it two different ways and say the SPY put in a new high. See, the SPY put in a new high. Come on. All right. So, yeah. But anyway, the Qs have been somewhat of a laggard here now. Now the Dow also on Thursday and Friday, if you notice, pulled back too. All right, so let's go over our levels. All right, what are the Qs going to do? What are the Qs going to do? I think right now this should be futures that are up here, not on my screen, but right here. These candles right here. All right. I want to know if the Qs and the SPY start trying to put in a lower high. That's what I want to know. So yes, it is. I can just use the Qs to make it easier for you guys. All right. So it pulled up and it looks like we are selling off the bell. But again, you can always just find support down in this area. Look at the tails. All right, you have some tails of selling, but it still was not enough to pull it down. All right. So if we go to a weekly chart, now you want to go to a weekly chart because you want to know where your moving averages are. All right, we're way above them on a weekly moving average. That we're extended. That's showing you an extension. Okay, this is kind of where I'd like to see a pullback. That's kind of where I'd like to see a pullback because what would that do? Right? What would that do? That would also bring my 50-day, 20-day moving average up there also, right here. So we could possibly meet the 50-day in this area. You know, maybe we don't. Maybe money's just getting put on. You know, it is as of right now. But we're starting to see, you know, bits and pieces of selling. And it's getting more rampant as we're getting, you know, as we're getting going. You know, notice that. All right? These are the things you guys want to start noticing before it gets too late. Not to say you should be buying puts. But look how the selling is ramping up now, guys, up here. Just notice the levels. 388, you know, into 384, 385. Your selling has been picking up. All right, you're starting to get more selling. And we have not had a bar like this on the indexes in a while. It's been at least 6 months since, I don't know, October, September, August of last year. It's been almost a year since you've had a candle like that was put in on Thursday. All right, and if you're new here, I told you guys, watch out for Thursday for a lot of different reasons, okay? So there's the Dow. We called it out, you know. Look at that pennant. That was a beautiful pennant. You broke out of your pennant, put in a double bottom with some volume on the extension right here, right? Look at that volume that broke out. So it tried to roll itself over, said, nope, we're going higher. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I want to go into some earnings, and again the Dow is extended. Okay, so we're just extended all over the place, which that's okay. That's all right. IWM small caps just poking its head up above the 100-day moving average, getting into a bit of resistance here. All right, can this thing pull itself back and we tap this downtrend here, right? Now, I shouldn't go from a tail to a close, but, you know, I should just do it from a tail to a tail. All right, I don't need to do all that. So, yeah, I don't like that. So the IWM is above its 100-day. It's trying to break itself up and out of that. All right, it's again we're just in a bullish and it's easy to see, you know, it's easy to see now that we've ran up, you know, like we have now, to say, hey, the market had put in a bottom and started to roll itself up and over, you know. It's easy to say that. So I want to get into the dollar. I want to get into a couple things here. Now look at ARK. ARK is not putting in a new high yet. All right. That's not putting in a new high. But what's even funnier though, we measured that move, guys. That was a measured move that we did, and look, and it got there. See, this is another stock that I forgot that we did. We covered it on a live stream. If you wrote down the levels and went through it, you could have capitalized on this. We did this. It's here. You know, we did this on the breakout. I just forgot about it. There were other things I was looking at. So what do we do here? In the mornings, we go through the news. We want to know where we were going. Members in chat, we're on Roku. Made a lot of money on Roku this week. I didn't get in on it. I missed the boat. Sometimes it is what it is, you know. But you want to put yourself in the best position, like this week, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna be ready for it, because I'm going into earnings right now. First, if you could like, share, and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. Comment below any tickers or questions. If you guys have any plays, see how you guys do. Any options or stock, weekly, 2 weeks, anything under $50, we'll start doing that. I'll try it out. I'll pick a random comment, $50, and we'll see how it does. If you guys have any, anything you guys are seeing or anything you guys think that can do well. Anything under $50, throw it in the chat, and we'll put the play on. I'll pick a random play, or we can all cover one together. But anyway, let's see here. Data. Gosh, I was wanting this stream to be so much better. I'm so upset that I had some tech issues. We have some data this week, but you guys should see if something happens in Europe, Italy, okay? They're all getting GDP and inflation data. Okay? They're getting their GDP and inflation data, and more so inflation. Okay? More so inflation. Because you could see futures move and you're like, "Man, why did we move?" Well, maybe inflation came in really hot. Now, why do I think that future inflation could come in really hot? I'm going to show you, and we've called it out already. We've already been on these, so it's not going to come to a surprise. So Tuesday, ISM Manufacturing. I'm not really worried about jolts. Now why I say you look at this and say Tuesday, for this reason, guys, is because you need to be able to you'll be able to go to your chart, see where you're at, if you're at support or if you're at resistance, and you have data coming in, you can paint the picture for future price movement, okay? And I can get more into it as if join us on the live stream tomorrow, okay? We're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. So we don't have much on Wednesday or Monday. Just Tuesday is ISM Manufacturing. That's going to be a big one, okay? Other than other than unemployment and inflation and possibly GDP from, the major biggest countries. All right. Bank of Japan monetary policy meeting. All right. That's their interest rate decision, or that's their minutes, like notes of their meeting. So you also have, this is going to be important because we're seeing RBOB, which is gasoline futures, go up. This is the inflation data that I'm talking about. Why do we think that inflation could not necessarily be sticky, but, start to peek its head back up? Because we're starting to see energy go back up. All right. So Thursdays when we have, and again, there you go, interest rate decisions, but I thought, so non-farm. So you have initial jobless claims. Okay, there it is. So PMI on Tuesday, and then we have ISM services on Thursday. Okay, and then Friday we have non-farm payroll. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, those are going to be the days. But again, you want to pay attention to what's going on around the world. All right, you have to. Let's go to the dollar. All right, that's what, there's two things that I see going on here. The number one thing that I think is going on with the dollar right now, okay, is I think you could start to see the dollar actually put in a range. I think you could see the dollar put in a range here, guys. All right, that I also would not be surprised to see. Now, does it become an ascending wedge? You know, I'm not sure. You could look at this a few different ways, right? You could look at it a few different ways. All right, you have a range there, or you had a failed breakdown coming out. Or that is a bear flag, and now we're going to break out. But the dollar's down. It's like right there. It's trying to make up its mind, right? It's trying to make up its mind. So if I go to futures, right, or if I pull up the dollar, which you can trade the dollar on equities, guys, if you don't know. If you don't know, you can trade the dollar, UUP is the ticker. Okay, UUP. Again, I have a list of stocks that I still want to get into. So there we go. If you want to trade calls, puts, if you want to trade the stock, you want to buy it, you want to short it, it is there. Okay. You can even trade, you know, treasuries and interest rates and stuff as well in the equity market, which I could always bring up to you guys. So we have this bear flag, you know, coming out. It's either going to be a failed breakdown and we hold here and head higher, little shake and bake, or, you know, this is where we go at. Look, it put a double bottom in intraday on Friday. Look at that double bottom. That is a near perfect double bottom right there. You got to watch out for that. I'm going to be watching out for it because I want to see if that level breaks. And if it doesn't, then what does that mean for rates? What does that mean for Fed policy? Because it's all tied in together. All right, so let's go to the earnings. First off, we can start with SoFi. I don't really like the chart pattern on SoFi, okay? But, you know, it's just SoFi had a lot of things, you know, with them, and it's like, you know, it just, I think October with student loans being paid back, all this and that, I think SoFi could be a good pick. We'll see. You know, I'm not really ready to call, you know, SoFi, you know, a company that I'm really interested in, that I'm really looking to like get long or put in my long term. I kind of want to wait a little bit. All right. I do like SoFi, but I just don't know if I like it that much. You know, that's all I'm saying. It's just that I don't know who the kids are going to. Maybe I just need to do my research on it, you know. But oh shoot, come on guys. I'm sorry. So let's do it. So what do we have here? SoFi. All right. So SoFi is at a psychological $10 number coming up here. All right. I would expect SoFi. I don't know what to expect from SoFi. I really don't, guys. I really don't. I do know that I have a previous resistance, a pivot low, turning that support into resistance. Now we're hanging up here with a double top, right? You are hanging on. If you put in this range right here, if you want to call this a range, okay, you are holding the top side of the range. All right, the market did bounce back, so you did have the market at your back. So what I want to show you is this right here. So if this is our range, okay, if my mouse wants to work, there's our range. And we could just say right here. We'll say right there. That's fine. It's holding the tops. It's holding the middle of the range right there, guys. All right, it's holding this part. It's holding that top side of the range. So, you know, that's holding support. It's putting in a higher, you know, it's putting in higher lows, at least attempting to. All right. So one thing I also want to touch on, let me go through these real quick before we crack down on these earnings. Look at TLT. TLT actually put in a lower high. Now I'm really getting curious about TLT and the treasuries. Okay, I really am now. Now I'm like thinking, because guys, this was easy money for us in chat. If we did not have anything to trade, what were we doing here? All right, if I go to, I don't know, an hourly chart, what did we say? $100 we got to be long. Or what was it? That's what we were doing, right? What was it? 103? Yeah, 103. Yeah, 103. It was back here when I started the stream. I'm like, guys, 103 we're long. 103 we're long. 103 we're long. 103 we're long. Just as an easy trade, base hits, home run. You know, we're not looking for home runs. We get it. We get it. All right, these are just trades that you can put on and then go with the news and just have positions helping you make money. Now, you do what you want with your money. I can't tell you what to do. Right? So, 103 we were long. Now we're in the lower part of this consolidation. So, I want to know if TLT puts in, if this is a lower high on TLT, and if we can start making our run back up to the 103 level, if rates are going to start coming down, but we have to see if this level breaks first. All right, you did sell off of it after hours. Previous pivot low here at 100. 100 was also another level. Okay, 100 to 103. Like, you start seeing these channels, you get the opportunity. Small, but small risk. Okay, small positions. No, not worried about home runs. You're just getting paid, getting profits. You take them off. All right, so we're gonna have a ton of earnings, guys. So I'm gonna get into them right now. And HYG, your high grade debt. Now these are still at lows. People like to say that they trade. There's a correlation. Well, there has been and there hasn't been. There hasn't been a correlation as of late. We had a correlation with the dollar and the SPY. It's kind of still there. Usually if the SPY goes up, TLT is going down. TLT goes up, SPY goes up. That's not happening right now. So that old myth is it's just not the time for that. So HYG, your high grade, your junk bonds, they are, I feel like I'm just kind of curious if it's time to start thinking about long positions, but I'm going to wait. Why am I going to wait? All right, so I don't know if I can get it on here. Okay, let me go to, is it going to give it? Nope. Okay, so let me bring this up, guys. Why do I think inflation can start? Oh gosh, I'm starting to look like one of them. What is this? I'm just kidding. So we were saying that we have a range here if you're just joining us down, or is this a pennant with with a breakdown and we pull back to test it and get more selling? As of right now, futures are still sitting right at it. So it's we're going to see. So let's go to gasoline futures. I've told you guys, I brought these up like a month or two ago. I'm going to continue to bring them up. RB, that's what it is. That's what it is. So here is the pennant we had drawn that we're trying to hold now, guys. Look at it consolidating. Look at the consolidation. What is this going to mean for? Look at the volume as well, guys. Yes, it's coming down, but look at the amount of buying. What does this mean going forward? All right. If we start holding and start going back up, this is where, if we do go to the upside, this is my target. Obviously, doesn't mean it's not that it's going to happen in September. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. This is going to be inflation data that you got to worry about. You start watching this. Okay, gasoline's going up, right? What else have we been on? We've been calling this stuff out. Okay, and we said $60, go long. That's what I'm looking at. Can't tell you what to do with your money. If you find this information valuable, please, we're trying to get to 100 likes, 100 likes and 100 subscribers. If you could, like, share, and subscribe if you find this information valuable. And we will take any questions that you have. All right, oil, energy, okay? Again, another one that's just been going, right? Look at the pennant breakout. I don't know why my charts are doing this. It's because it's a weekly. That's why. So you've had the consolidation pullback. Let's go into a bigger picture, okay? We'll just keep it right here. Is this? I don't know why this chart looks like this. And it's on. Let me go to maybe manual with it. Nope. All right, so, oh my gosh, I hate that it does that stuff, guys. I'm so sorry. It should just. So what do we have here that we always talk about? Okay, you have your stage 1 rally. Put in your base, shake them out, which it's been doing. Now, do we start to see more upside with it? All right, we've called this USO out for a while now. We've said, guys, $60, look for a long. Same thing with gold. I mean, I'm just here trying to help, man. That's all it is. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. So here's your pennant. So here's your pennant breakout. Look at the breakout, guys. Look at that. I know there's a lot on this chart. If you cannot see it, I can take after hours. But look at this pennant. Right? Look at that. And you know what else I need to do? I need to do this. I always forget to do it. So there we go. Now it's going to be a lot better for you guys, so I do apologize. I'm telling you guys, this morning I had some issues with, I had some technical issues, and it was just, everything was messed up. Everything, from mic, camera, to just everything. So there we go. That looks better, right? Oh, sorry about that. So here was our long position right here. We knew when we got the breakout, we could put the position on if, you know, and our stop would be right there. We worry about how much we're going to lose, not how much we're going to make. That's why this is green. You could buy anywhere in here. You put in a triple bottom, double bottom, really, whatever you want to call it. You put in a base, only to grind higher. Bang. Beautiful trades, guys. Beautiful trades we've been calling out. You know, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I mean, if you make trading hard and if you're new, it may seem hard. And it is hard. You just, you know, if you don't have the time, you're kind of at a disadvantage. And that's why people give up. Because this whole time we've said $60, right? $60. I'm long. $60. If I need a trade, I'm taking $60. $60.44. $60.08. $60.08. $60.80. So that's 68, 60, 80 is a key number. And where could we have taken it to? That's a $6 trade on USO, guys. Every time. By 2-3 weeks, by a month options out, base hits, bang. Base hits, base hits. All right, you get paid. You might make more than you think. All right, these are the things you guys got to start looking at. Like, you need to have your areas that you can go to, that you know where your risk is minimal. If you don't see a trade to put on because of news or this and that, you say this is an easy trade where you can just put it on, set your stop loss, and go look at something else. You don't even have to look at it. You put it on, you set your stop loss, and you go look at the other trades for the day or the news. You know you're at $60. It's told you how many times that $60 is being bought. How many times has it got to show you that? Very easy trade. This is 2 months, guys. 3 months. 1, 2, 3 for the breakout. Plenty of time to make, you know, decent money to get your portfolios up. Same thing with GLD. This is what I try to find for us, guys. All right. I don't know why the chart is changed. I can't answer that one. But I said Friday and Thursday, somebody asked me about gold. I said, well, at 180, you got to be long because the risk to reward is there. You know, 178, 179, give it a dollar or two. Right? Or just give it, you know, it stops out at 180, then stop out. And it reverses, okay. Maybe think about re-entering at 180. You know? Because if it's going to break 180 and then come right back up, that's a sign. It's telling you that just was a shakeout. Right? Look at how many times that you could have put this trade on. It probably made more than you thought. Look, 180, 184, 180, right? 183. Okay? So, that's what we do here. We might even be putting in a lower high. It's hard to say. We'll see what happens with the dollar. Let's get into it. Let's go into AMD. All right, so we have our weekly chart. Now, there's so many earnings this week. There were so many earnings that it's going to be hard for me to go through every single one. So let's see how long we've been streaming for. 49 minutes. Are you serious? Holy cow. So we've already said, what kind of pattern do we have? We have Microsoft that looks just like Microsoft. All right? In a sense. Like I always say, stocks can only trade so many ways. So AMD, you know, you don't know what earnings going to be. They could be good, they could be bad. We don't know, right? So what do? We just get our levels. All right. We get our levels. So if you want to go to the weekly moving average or the weekly chart, because you want to see where your moving averages are. You need to know where they are, because that is where institutions are going to be buying, or they're going to be selling, or they're going to be selling to and buying off of. All right, since it's below us. And maybe if it's bad, it just rips right through it. Who knows, you know? So these semis have made a nice recovery. A nice recovery, okay? If they start to lower guidance or something happens, you could see profit taking. I mean, it would be stupid to not take profit. Again, a lot of these institutions are long-term holders. So, you do have to worry about that. So this is your first level you're going to want to watch for, right? Your 107.50. Now I'm going to go into the 15-minute chart. If you guys want to, put up the weekly chart with your 100-day moving average or 100 weekly moving average, and I'm going to say around $99. It's like 98.50 right here where this circle is. It's an area, right? Let me go to the daily so I can. So it's right here at 90. Where is it? It's at 98.50. Okay, so 98.50 is your weekly 100 day. So if for some reason something bad happens and you get a pullback, expect the 100 day to be support, because it's probably not going to break it the first try. It'll go down to it, it'll pull back, find the support, turn that into resistance, and then start possibly making its trend lower if things are that bad. Okay, so that could be a reversal. If you get a big gap down or something, you could look to possibly take a long off of it into prior support, right? Let's go to the daily, and then we'll go into the 50-day. Now, that doesn't mean that's if the street doesn't like the earnings, or they don't report up to expectations, because you got to remember, these stocks are trading way up at these valuations now. Are they going to perform? Okay, and I've been saying these mid to large cap tech companies, not your Apples and Amazons, but like your Shopifys, your Spotifys, your Airbnbs, your Ubers. Uber's pretty good. I like Uber, but are they going to trade at these multiples? Now, remember that they were lowering guidance and the stock was lower. They were at prices that were much, much lower, that they were barely beaten. Now they've doubled. Some have like just gone from $30 to $120 or $100 or $60 to $80. Are they going to be able to perform and show revenue at this earnings multiple, which is the stock price? Okay. If they cannot, then we know what happens, because in growth, if you're not growing, if you're a growth stock, then you go down. Okay. And if you go down only so much and you can't grow, then you become a value stock. If there's any value there, maybe you go in the pink sheets. Maybe you're finding your way delisted off the NASDAQ. Anyway, this is a daily chart. What are we doing, guys? What do you guys see here? I'm going to ask you that. It's important to know. What do you guys see here? What do you guys see? I'm going to show you what I see, right? This is what I see. And I'm going to make it quick. We'll go over more in the morning. What are we doing? That's the 50-day moving average. That red line is the 50-day moving average. You're turning that into resistance now. It was support. It was following the 50-day support, 1, 2, 3, heading in the same direction. Now it's broken it. Now it's 1, 2, 3 times, looking like it still wants to roll over. So it's making the resistance, the 50-day resistance. All right. Now I'm going to make this quick because I want to get off here, spend a little time with my family. This, again, is the same setup that I think is just like Microsoft. I think we might have a bearish setup here. I'm going to stick my neck out and say maybe things don't happen for AMD just yet. Maybe we get a dip buy. Maybe they don't report so hot. All right. If charts have been telling us early what the direction of the earnings have been. If you have not noticed, all right. If you're new, I would not expect you to notice anything like that. So what am I going to watch for? First off, I'm going to watch the 100-day moving average, which is this previous support here. And this level is going to be right here and it's an area, okay? And that's right with the 100-day moving average. This is 103.50, okay? Write that down if you want. You're going to want to know it. 103.50 if they report bad. If they report good, okay? Now I say this because this is where I'm going to think that there should be some type of support here at the 100-day, because if I go back, look here. Look at that, okay? It's found the 100-day, its friend. Look. Boom. Right? And I didn't even look at this prior, okay? So, resistance. Resistance. Resistance, resistance, and it just breaks above it, pulls back to it, support, and then you went on. So AMD and the 100-day moving average have something going on. All right, let's go over Shopify. Oh, let me give you the upside targets. So again, I'll go back over it. I'm sorry to make this quick because I have just kind of waiting for earnings and stuff like maybe the indexes, just earnings, just getting the liquidity from earnings and getting earnings moves. So like base hit trades and stuff like that, like maybe, because like I said, TLT, we were trading the range, and gold, like these are base hit trades that, you put the position on, you set your stop loss, right there in the area, and then you just move on and trade for the day, whatever you want, and that should bring you money. Like this is something you don't have to look at. That's why I like to put trades on like this. I don't know if gold rose over, but right now I'm also looking at TLT to see if it's putting in a lower high or a higher low, and then I am looking to see if the SPY and the Nasdaq and stuff are now going to start putting in a lower high. Okay, so if I go to I can just go to I'll go to the SPY, or I'll go to ES because it'll be a little bit clearer. Same thing, right? So again, if you guys weren't there in chat Friday and stuff, I put in chat that I was short for the obvious reasons, for the SPY. All right, so is this going to be a lower high? We'll find out. Now it looks like it's holding it as support. Okay, but that doesn't mean it can't go here. So it did put in. So I want to see, does a lower high come in here, and then we start kind of bouncing, putting in another lower high? I don't know. Or we just keep going up. Again, look at we're going to get buyers. They're buying the dip. I don't expect a pullback unless we have a reason for a pullback. So with that said, if a stock is strong, whether it's earnings or anything, you got the market at your back to the upside. Let me just run on to AMD real quick. So maybe I'll play like SoFi tomorrow, depending on their earnings. We kind of covered them. So that 100-day moving average on AMD, right? That 100-day moving average, that's one that, if this thing gives bad earnings, we're going to look for it to get down here. And that level, once again, was 103.65. 103.65, because it loves the 100-day moving average. It loves it. Resistance, support. We already went through it, so we're going to see if we can get here. Right, 103.50 to 103.75, that area. Real quick though, upside. Where's upside targets? Well, we got to break through 115.50. So 115.50, if that breaks and you get a gap up, okay, then you want to look to see if you get a pullback back down, depending on how strong it is. It could just rally. You got a double top up here, right? You got a double top up here at 122. It's like 122.50 to 122. It's an area, right? It's an area. Let me go back to a 30-minute chart so we can see what we have to the left of us, right? Because that's important. It might help us see exactly where it's at. So right here at 121.50, why am I not getting the level? So 121.50, guys, is where I'm going to look for AMD to the upside. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to, if they have strong earnings, okay, if for some reason it's strong earnings, I'm going to see if we get a gap up. I'm going to wait for the pullback to 115.50. If it's strong, we're going to come up. Maybe we get a pullback. It rides up, pulls back to 115. I will be buying the pullback, especially if the market's still going up. You have the market at your back. I personally don't think you're going to get upside on AMD. I think AMD is putting in the same setup as Microsoft, and you've seen what happened to Microsoft. Okay, so 115.50 on the upside, and you could look to ride that up to 122.50, 121.50. I'm sorry. All right, let's go to. There's so many that I don't have time for. I'm gonna have to just go through them more in the morning. I want to see the news on BABA. Not news on BABA, but like the China stocks. We're going to keep on watching them. Okay, you want to watch the energy stocks. This is going to be the level I want to look for two reasons. You have the weekly 100-day moving average right there. Okay, and that's area of resistance. It's been an area of resistance. Okay, hold up. Let me see here. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but yeah. So, which is going to be right around our previous pivot high. So We'll see if we can get Baba to 104, 103.50 right here to this area. What is that, 103? So it's like weird. I'm going to wait because there's going to be earnings this week. Again, I'm going to be playing earnings. Now, like SoFi, I already went over that, but we'll see what happens to it. It's holding the top side of its range. Okay? It's holding the top side. This could be a bullish earnings if I'd had to guess. Mark my words. If I were to say with the chart pattern, I'd say SoFi has good earnings tomorrow. All right, what else do we have? We have so many earnings. I got to hurry up and get through them so I can spend some time with the family. If you guys have anything you guys want to put in the chat. So let's pull up Uber real quick. I'll go over that. And then we have On Semis. I looked at them and I looked at the chart. It doesn't really, I feel like it doesn't really have much to offer. You know, it kind of just, like, look at these movements. Like, they're so small. I'm good. I need some volatility in my life. Not to say that they don't play. We also have Unity, I think, also. So we're going to want to see their earnings. I think they also, with the chart pattern we see, let's see here. Just want to see if I can kind of tell, like, if the chart is, like, if the street or if the chart is telling us anything. You know, that's a breakout above that prior resistance, guys. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you do have a lot of selling up here. You do have a lot of selling right here at 46.96, call it 45. So if Unity does have decent earnings when they report, look for 45. Okay, if it can break out of 45, or what is that, 47? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Yeah, 47. So, Unity, I'm looking for 47 level. Let me go into Uber real quick. And I'm going to cover two more, and then I'm going to get out of here. And you guys can join us Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And if you could, like, share, and subscribe. All right. So, Uber's kind of the same way. You know, I don't know. The chart pattern's just... It's just been traveling. It's got momentum. Maybe they have good earnings, maybe they don't. Maybe they reverse here. You know? Maybe they reverse. So, Amazon, let's go to Amazon real quick. All right, Amazon is putting in, it's doing its own thing, which it should. Amazon is its own animal. So, it's kind of just rolled up, and now we're just sitting here right above the 100-day moving average. Can we break out? Can this earnings send it up? You know, send it up to this level and start consolidating up at 134.50. All right, real quick, guys. Let me put this up. Boom, boom. So, the 50-day. It bounced right off of the 50-day, right? It's bounced right off the 50-day, and you're closed above the previous range of 131.50. All right, 131.50 holds. We got to watch how it trades this week. Top side of this trade is going to be 137, 136.85. Okay, bottom end, then you obviously got to watch for your 50-day to become support, you know, or a pullback into the 50-day, right? You look for a pullback into the 50-day. So what I would say, if AMD, depends on how it trades this week. We'll have to wait because it's later on in the week. You know, we don't know where these stocks are going to be by then, okay? But I would look for, if it still is just sitting right around this area, look for the 100 or the 50-day to become support. Maybe not full-time, but if they have bad earnings, you know, maybe you get a bounce. Maybe you break through the 50-day and bounce back to it to get short. Or you get the bounce back off of the 50, get short at 128.75, 129 area. Right? Or, yeah, what is that? I'm going to go with 128 to 128.50. 128 to 128.50 is going to be where I would look to get short if Amazon has horrible earnings. Another stock that's putting in what? A double top, pulls back, and this would be like AMD and Microsoft down here to the bottom right, but it's not. It's back up to the range. So if it holds here, we'll see if it can climb higher, right? See if it can climb higher. Now it's making this previous resistance. It held it and made it support Friday. That's 139.95 or 131.95, 132. All right, 132 area, 131.95 because it trades really small. It trades in $4 or $5 increments. Please, when you go into these earnings, and I wish I'd have said this in the morning, if you're trading a stock on the earnings, please know the ATR. If you don't know what the ATR is, comment in chat and I will help you with it. Not only just the ATR, but the volatility ATR. Okay, there's two different ATRs you can have. You have a regular day and then an ATR that, has volatility with it, which is movement. Okay, you want to price those extra few dollars in, or, maybe you don't, because maybe nothing, it's just, that's how I do it. Again, you do it how you want. So we have Qualcomm, we have a bunch of earnings coming up. So we're going to just watch them, and we're going to go, as we go on through the week and we go on through these earnings, we're going to cover more of them, guys. I just wanted to go over the big ones. I know we have Apple. We all know where Apple's at. Apple's at all-time highs. Okay, so I'm going to do my research tonight and do some more things to get ready for tomorrow. But I will be watching energy, gold. It's just ran. There's no chart pattern here for me. All-time highs. If Apple does do bad for some reason, your target's got to be the 50-day on the 100-day, or on the daily. I'm sorry. Maybe you look for a pullback to the 50, and that's at 138. Or no, what? Hold up. 185.50. 185.50 is your 100-day on Apple. Right? Look at it riding the trend line. Look at it riding that trend line. Okay? So, we have a lot. Okay, guys, this could influence the dollar. We have a lot of data. We have a lot of data coming out around the world. GDP, you have inflation, all that fun stuff that's going to dictate them doing their interest rates cycles. Okay? So, we're going to want to pay attention to that. On semiconductors, SoFi, I'm really going to look for SoFi. Now, Rig, Transocean, you have a lot of energy as well coming up. You have some down names, Cat, all right, Marriott. I don't know if that, I'm not saying that Marriott's a down name, but, you have stuff like Devon Energy, okay? You have Sunrun. You have casino stocks like DraftKings and what else is on here? I want to say Las Vegas, or MGM Resort, Cloudflare, all right? You have healthcare, you have, energy, you have these. I'm really kind of looking for these mid to large cap tech names like your DoorDash, your AMDs, your Ubers, maybe your SoFis, your PayPals, your Shopifys, your Airbnbs, Coinbase, Square. I'm looking for all these because I think we get some movement there. Net, right? I'm going to cover more of these. So those are the few that I'm watching now, guys. I also, like I said, I want to see tomorrow morning. Join us Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, Ivy League Trading, right here on YouTube. We trade live for free. If you could, please like, share, and subscribe. I had some technical issues with cameras and my computer, just things going on with the stream, so I do apologize for coming on late. I apologize for that. I do apologize for not having the stream, a great stream tonight. All right, I got really thrown off with that. I had a lot of things ready, and then the papers just got flown up in the air because now I didn't even know if I was going to have a stream to do tonight. So we will get back at it in the morning. We're going to see what news do we have. Okay. What news is it that we wake up to? All right. Decline in China factory activity extends into a fourth month. Right. Stock futures rise slightly. We know that. All right. They're buying the dip. So we have a lot. We have a lot of stuff. We have all these earnings. I'm excited for earnings, guys. So if I didn't cover one for you, I apologize. Keep in mind later on inflation data. If you're natural gas and gasoline futures and oil and energy, copper, these things start to rise, you're going to see inflation rise. You're going to see hikes. You're going to see possible talks of more rate hikes. All right. What's the 2-year doing? Shit. What I'm saying is it almost, I'm thinking like it was wanting to hold and possibly wanting to hold there and put in a new high. It's not good. The market has been going up with yields, but that only lasts for so long. Do we break this level? It looks like we're putting in a lower high. Okay, I would not expect it to go up any higher. I would not expect it to. Not that it can't, but again, I just don't see it like continuously breaking through new highs and ripping up is what I mean. Could you go a hair higher? Possibly. Yeah, why not? But we'll have to wait and see. What does Japan's whole thing do to the dollar, to the rates, and like, so I have, also, look at this daily chart, guys, right? Look at that. Is it trying to break out now? Is Oxy trying to break out of this level? They have earnings, all right? You smack the 200-day. So this is another. We're going to go through more of these. Look at the 200-day. Bow. All right, but what? Whoa. They step back in. They're trying to hold this previous pivot. They bought that previous pivot, closed the gap. They didn't close the gap, but right here. So what do we have for the weekly? Do we have any moving average? Do we have something that could tell us, hey, look, actually resistance off the 50-day 100 or the 50-day weekly, 50 weekly moving average. Okay, so, do we get a pullback in Oxy? Do earnings bring it back down to the 100-day? Do we finally break that 56 area where Buffett and Crow has been buying it at? 56, 55. We'll see. All right, this is another one I'm going to watch. Look at the pennant it's putting in. All right, it's in a downtrend. Now it's really got a reason. Look, this will be the second time that it's rejected the 50-day. If it does reject, look at that. Or 50 weekly moving average. Look at that. 1, 2. Okay? 1, 2. And what was up here? And look at that. And that is the 200-day on the daily. So what happens? Because it was support. Okay? It was an area that was support. Look. Support. Oh my gosh. All right. You guys know what I'm getting at. So I have a lot of these I'm going to cover. I'm going to do some work tonight. Let's see what news that we wake up to tomorrow, and we're going to take it from there. Thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. I'm sorry, of how it was. But tomorrow morning, join us, 7:30 in the morning. We're going to go through all these charts. All right, we're going to go through all these charts. We're going to put ourselves in the best position to manage risk and make money. If you want to make some money and you don't have a ton of money to just throw down the drain for some group, come join us right here on the live. YouTube or Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. All right, 7:30 in the morning. You guys have a great night. Thank you for bearing with me. I will see you all in the morning. Everything will be working, no technical difficulties. And please, if you found any of this information valuable, please please subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel and get a community of traders in here. And again, trading is not perfect, but you can make it easy on yourselves. There are things you need to learn, things that we discuss. I talk about my trades as I go through them during the day. Maybe you might learn something. Okay. You guys have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow on the desk, ready to go, ready to get to work. You guys have a great night. I'll see you.